Hi, you all. So I'm just running some errands and I'm gonna make this random video for y'all. Speaking from the heart here. So, where my brush is. So quarantine, amongst other things, you all, has really changed my perspective, and maybe some of you out here can relate, maybe others of you can't. You know, it's gonna depend upon who can relate and who can't relate. Give me a second here. So I'm just gonna be talking from the heart and, about my feelings about a couple things, and, some may be able to relate, others may not. It is what it is, like usual. And, I just want to share a life lesson with you all, because I think it's important, to be honest. And I think it's also really, really important to talk about, real life and relationships and, expectations and, the society we live in. I think it's really, really important to, talk about real things. I think it's important to talk about, real things. And, me personally, I just feel like I got to a point in my life where, I want something that's reciprocated, like, yeah, like, I just feel like in all areas of my life, it's like, I just want things to be reciprocated, and I don't think it's healthy in any area of your life, right? I don't think it's healthy in any area of your life to be doing things where the energy or the effort is not reciprocated, and I've come on here before and I've been able to talk about my twin flame journey. Every now and then, before I used to do that, I used to do that, and I feel like that's in the past now. To be honest with you, I just feel like, at least for me on my channel, doing twin flame vlogs is pretty ancient. I don't really feel the need to make vlogs like that anymore. Like, per se, I don't really feel like I need to do that anymore, because I'm not gonna be the only person putting forth effort, and with that said, I'm definitely not gonna be the only person who is busting their ass, and that's just putting it bluntly. I'm never gonna be the person to be in a one-sided relationship. Now, people can talk about their own experience, that's on them, but I'm only speaking from my platform, how I feel, when it comes to just life, love, goals, marriage, long-term relationships, soul connections, twin flame, soulmate. Like, I have a good amount of knowledge and experience, to know the difference. So in my case, I just feel, I genuinely feel like, regardless of the type of connection, right? I feel that it should never be one-sided. It should never be a scenario where you feel like you're giving your all and you feel like it's at your own detriment. And I think what's interesting, kind of just like recapping 2020, like, what I think is so interesting is how, like, I was driving, right? And I was looking back on the year, and I don't know if people realize this, and maybe it's just me, but I have realized this on a bigger scale. And what I'm about to say is very important, because maybe somebody out here needs to, like, hear this and, draw inspiration from this. This could be you or anybody, but, like, what I will say for a fact, right, is that you cannot buy back time, okay? You cannot buy time. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you do for a living, like on this planet, on this 3D plane, you cannot get your time back. You cannot get your time back. And I just feel like we're in December, 2020 is coming to a close. And I feel like so many people are looking back, including myself, right? Like so many people, especially on social media, right, are like, oh my God, I didn't do anything all year. My year is wasted. I didn't get to do anything. And what I will say in response to people who say that is, well, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If you were in 2020, this horrible year we've had, and you've done nothing to better yourself, I mean, like nothing at all, that's on you. And that goes for all areas in life, like if you are in a unhappy situation, a unhappy relationship, okay, like something in your life is making you unhappy. Why are you staying in that? It's just that simple. Like, why are you entertaining bullshit? And it's a tragedy because 2020 has just proved my point, which is that you cannot get time back, okay? If somebody broke your heart, if somebody messed you around, if somebody was not contributing to the relationship or not reciprocating, like you cannot get that time that you just wasted back. So I am definitely a friend in my personal life. I'm the friend who's going to say to somebody like, don't waste your time, and a lot of times in my readings, the cards will reflect this. I will tell you guys, who watch my readings, like, if something does not seem fair, I will bring it up because I don't like that. I don't like to see people waste their time. I don't like to see people who give their arm, leg, and a foot, their heart, their body, their mind, their soul. They give everything in a bag of chips and get nothing in the end. And that is a tragedy, that is an absolute tragedy to be in anything in your life. Do anything, be with anybody, do anything that has never benefited you. And so I just feel like as I was driving and thinking about, a lot of things in my life and just the year in general, at least for me, I just feel like my priorities are totally different. My priorities are different. My perspective is different. I just see things so differently, and the reality is that I cannot feel bad, for the record. Like, I cannot feel bad. I cannot feel bad for living my life and for moving on. Like, I have no apologies. I have no regrets because the reality is that, especially as a woman, let's just get real. Like, as a woman, you only have a certain amount of time to have children. You only have a certain amount of time to really, like whatever, like, you're on this conveyor belt, right? Like, as a woman, it's very easy to feel like time is running out, time is against you. And that's how I feel. I feel like I do not want to waste another year, another month in anything that does not benefit me. I just can't allow it. I can't allow it. And I'm not poo-pooing my connection. I am not trying to speak negatively on my twin. I'm really not. But the reality is that I cannot rely upon him. Okay? Like, I cannot rely upon him. I cannot rely upon him. He's immature. He's not ready. And it sucks. And you know what? I had to cry, guys. Tonight, I had to cry. I had to really let that sink in. I really had to let that sink in that, what? He's not the man right now for me. And he may never be that person for me. I don't know. But I had to just sit with that reality that, what? He's not responsible. Like, when it comes to money, when it comes to his body, like, you're not responsible. He's not responsible, guys. And, it was crazy because I was out shopping, right? I was out shopping And this lady was like, "Oh, are you married?" And I said to her, "No, I'm not." I don't know why I always get that. I don't know why I get that. I just turned 25, you all. I walk out, right? And people always are like, "Oh, are you married?" I don't know what it is. I'm not married yet. Okay. I'm not married. I'm going to manifest being married, but I'm not married just yet. But people always are like, "Oh, you must be married." I'm like, "I'm not married yet. Like, I'm super young. Like, I'm not married yet." And this lady, like me and this lady, we're talking, right? And she was like, "Oh, so like, do you feel like you wasted your time, blah, 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 blah." And I said to her, "No, because I had my boundaries." Like I explained to her, like, "No, like I was not the kind of person to just go all in and have no guarantee. Like, that's not how I operate." I said to her, "No, like I dated other people." I made it very clear to her. I was like, "No, like I never wasted my time because I dated other people. If one person wasn't acting right, okay, there's somebody else. Like, I don't waste my time. I refuse to waste my time." And she was like, "Oh, you're smart. You're smart. Like, when I was your age, like I would fall in love quick and all." And I said to her, "That's not me. Like, that's never been my style. I don't fall in love easily. I do not fall in love easily. I do not. I never have. I never will, because I go based upon the merit of and the character. Like, most importantly, I go based upon the character of a person and how responsible they are." And so one of my biggest pet peeves, especially when it comes to dating, is somebody who's irresponsible, who's immature, who can never own up to what they do or how they've hurt someone. I don't like that. I do not, I detest that. So like, I've moved on from that whole like thing with like the runner chaser. Like, I've totally moved past that because it's like I have my own goals. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have my own goals. I have my own life, and it's scary, Like, for a split second, I was kind of scared. Like, I felt scared because like I was sitting here like, "Oh my God, like I have to do this all by myself. Like, I literally have to cast my net and I have to like everything has changed, from the pandemic. Everything in on this planet has changed. Everything has changed, everything has been pushed back, has been changed, has been delayed, and it sucks. You know what I'm saying? It sucks when you're trying to manifest something and it's like the outside world does not cooperate. That's how I feel. And so, yeah, for a split second, you all, like, I felt scared. I was driving and I'm like, I'm scared because I don't know, like, like how, like, I don't want to marry someone that I don't love. I don't want to settle. I don't want to marry someone that I don't love. I don't want to do that. But then at the same time, it's like, what else is out here? Like, what else is out here? Like that fairy tale guy, like they in the movies, like, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And it's so sad for me to say this, but it doesn't exist. And a lot of people have settled, a lot of people out here who have children and are married, you would think that they're in love. You would think that they're happy. They're not. It's because they've settled. It's because it's what's easy and convenient. And it's crazy because I look at my life and I'm like, I could have married, I could have settled, I could have done so many things differently, but I refuse to. I just refused fundamentally to just do whatever because of society. Like, I chose a different way. And I'm looking back now and I'm like, wow, like, this is really messed up. Like, people out here are getting married and don't even love each other. Like, that to me is a tragedy. Like, can you imagine marrying somebody and you have like, you don't even like the person, you don't even like the person, let alone love the person, you're just with them to be with them? Like, that scares me. Like, that genuinely scares me. And of course, like, I would love to have a partner that I can like do things with and have support, but I'm not gonna lie to my heart. I'm not gonna lie to my heart and just be with anybody. Like, it ain't that deep. It's not that deep, but it scared me. Like, it scared me because I see the truth now. The older you get, it's like you understand. You begin to understand why certain people are in certain marriages, celebrity or not. And it's scary. It's scary, the idea of being with somebody somebody who you hate, who you don't even get along with. Like, that scares me. That genuinely scares me. And so, my priorities are just different. Like, my priorities are different. And I just genuinely feel like the whole year just proved my point. The whole entire year just proved my point, which is that you cannot get your time back. Be careful who you say you love. Be careful who you lay down with. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you give your heart to. Be careful, because you know what? Like, I am so happy that I guarded my heart. I am so happy that I was able to be truthful to myself. I'm very happy that I never let people's opinions get in my way. I'm very happy because it's like, looking back, I could have been that person. I could have been in that predicament if I was not careful. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but listen, like, you have to be intentional. In this life, you have to give it your all. You have to be intentional. You have to be careful, because a lot of people out here, not just celebrity, a lot of people out here are having kids for people they don't even like. Okay, they're in very unhappy marriages, and it's terrifying. Like, to me, that is so terrifying. To go home to the same person and hate that person's guts. Like, that makes no sense to me. And I just feel like, red flags are very real. A person's immaturity, the person will show you who they are. I don't care if it's a soulmate or I don't care what it is. Like, if that person's not ready, if that person does not have the basics of what you're looking for in a partner, you have to move on. And maybe people on YouTube are not going to tell you that, okay? But I will tell you that, because I don't want any of you, including myself, to end up in a marriage or end up with somebody that they regret. They regret giving their heart. They regret sleeping with that person. They regret so much, and I have no regrets. I can say that I don't have any regrets, but at the same time, I feel like you have to move accordingly. You have to move accordingly out here, guys, because the shit is serious. It's serious out here. And yes, it's difficult, because sometimes you see couples who, they look happy and all this stuff, but then are they really happy? Like it's confusing. Like, you have to question, like, are they really happy? Like, what's really going on? Like you question, you really, really question, like, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? And it's scary, because, looks can be deceiving, like what you see with a couple, what you see, like it's very deceiving. And it's scary, but luckily for us, we have the tool of tarot. We have the tool to pull cards. A lot of us have a lot of spiritual gifts, including myself. So, we can avoid a lot of bad people. But the sad reality is that, what's really out here? I mean, especially for us females, like, what is really out here is what's bothering me. Like, a woman can have everything together, her life on point, and she gets with a wrong man, and all that is down the tube. Like, that is very scary. And that's how I feel right now. So, I'm going through this period in my life where, like, my birthday was in October, I'm getting older. You see what I'm saying? And it's scary, for me, it's very, very scary. Well, I would say more so for women, why? Because the child is a woman's responsibility. When you have a child with somebody, that's a lifetime commitment. And for men, it's not like that. A man can have a child and he can bounce the next day, but a woman will always have to be responsible for that child's life and that child's upbringing and quality of life. And that's very scary to me. Like, I am like looking at the world right now and I'm like, I'm scared, because who can I trust? What man out here can I rely on? Like, that's scary to me. That is genuinely scary. And I just hope that every single one of us, can manifest our dreams. And I don't, with the pandemic and with 2020 in general, it's like things have gotten so bad out here. Like, things have gotten so bad, and it's scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's scary to me right now. I'm scared, I'm scared. And I've told God, like, I need your help, God. Like, I've talked to the divine, like, I need help because I'm scared. You know, I'm scared for the future of this country. I'm scared for just everything. Like, everything is so scary right now. Everything is so scary now. Not just the pandemic and the virus. It's just scary. Like, everything is scary in general. And, you know, I just want to update you all, you know, in terms of the whole twin flame journey. Like, y'all already know how I feel about that. You know, if you guys have seen my other videos in the past, you guys already know how I feel. You know, you guys already know how I feel. You know, if that person does not come correct, they can see their way out the door, you know, whether it's a woman or a man. If that person is not on their P's and Q's and upfront with you and is reciprocating the energy that you're giving out, it's a lost cause. You know, it's a lost cause. You know, in this day and age, after the horrible year we've all had, you have to benefit. Job, friendship, you have to benefit. You cannot be out here just giving love for free. Like, I mean, you can't just be out here just like settling or just, you know, going all the way in, and then at the end of it, you're hurt. You're the one who regret. Like, that is a mistake. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's a big red flag. And I just feel like the year has exposed a lot. You know, 2020, in my opinion, has proved so much to me. It's proved everything that I thought. 2020 just proved it to me. You see what I'm saying? And like, this year just proved to me that you have to move accordingly out here. And you have to like really be intentional. You have to manifest what you want. You have to be bold out here, because if you don't, life is going to be going by and you're like, why did I not do this? Why did I not like you're going to be questioning, you know, how I am right now. And then you have to take a step back and say, okay, well, you know what? I did do the right thing. You know, maybe it was the harder decision, but you know what? Ultimately, I made the right choice. And that's how I feel right now. You know, I had to just come to grips with just people in my life, the world we live in. I had to just come to grips, like, you know what? Like, some people are never going to be that person. You know, no matter how much you tell somebody you're hurting me or get your act together, like, some people just are not it. And you know what? They're never going to be it. And that's just a sad reality. Whether it's a friend, an ex, a job, sometimes they're just not it. It's just not it. And the universe, the divine, God is trying to wake you up and say, pay attention, right? Whether it's getting a better job, better friends, dating somebody new. It's like God, the universe, source will put these signs in your face. If you're like really in tune like that, you will see the synchronicities. You will see the signs everywhere. And me, I see the signs everywhere. And one thing about me is that when I know that a chapter is done in my life, I don't revisit it. You know, that is one thing about me. That is one thing about me that I really like, which is I do not revisit the past. You know, when something is over and done with, I do not backpedal. Like, I do not say, okay, like, you know, I'm going to reopen like this can, like, no. Like if I feel within my soul that something is done or that part of my life is over, I move accordingly. And I've always been that kind of person. If I'm unhappy, I am not going to stay in that situation. I'm going to move on. And that's what I have been doing. That's why I have been using my spare time. Besides being on YouTube with you all, I have been using this time to work on me, to ask myself, what do I want in a partner? What do I want out of a career? What do I want out of life? Because this year gave no one no mercy. 2020 spared no one. 2020 came for the jugular. And 2021 is going to be that much more cutthroat. And so it's not the time to be ignoring red flags, and a damn sure the time to be going into a brand new year without a strategy, without a plan, without a purpose. So, you know, I just want to get off my chest with you all. And, you know, I just wanted to tell somebody out here, I don't know who you are watching, but I just wanted to tell you out here, if you're watching me, like, if you, especially when it comes to love, like, if you are doing your all and that ish is not reciprocated, you need to move on. Okay. Somebody needs to hear this. Like, if you are not benefiting from your relationship, you're depressed, you're unhappy, you need to get out of that relationship, okay? Because time is going. You know, time is going, and time does not care what your age is, what you look like. Time does not care. Time is going. And I don't want people, including myself, to go into another year with woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, enough with the woulda, shoulda, coulda. Like we've survived a whole pandemic. You know, who was there for you was there for you. Who was not there for you speaks volumes. You know, like it speaks for itself. Like who was there for you will be there for you. Who's not is not a part of your life. And I believe that. I believe if somebody wanted to be there, they'd be there. You know, if that certain job or whatever was for you, it'd be for you. You know, you would have it by now. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't, then it's like you have to like look over, okay, so what did I miss? Like, what did I do wrong? You know, what, like, you have to take a responsibility as well. You know, like, you have to say, so like what could I have done differently? You know, what could I have done differently to change that outcome? And if you look at that situation and you say that everything was fine, like if you look at the situation and you say to yourself like everything was fine, you know, like nothing was changed, you know, I would have not changed nothing, then you're good. You know, you are good. If you look back on on a relationship or a job or whatever it is, and you say, you know what, I would have not changed anything. That's how you want to be. You want to live a life where you feel like, okay, I have done my all. I have given my all, and that's enough. I cannot give more than what I've already given. Like there's a limit. There's a limit to it. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you have to be. You know, with everything in life, you have to put limits and boundaries and just be aware. You know, you have to be aware of like what's going on in your life, because if you're not, then it's like a waste of time. You see what I'm saying? It's a complete waste of time. So I'm gonna get off here, guys. It's getting late, but I just wanted to let somebody know, I don't know who you are watching me, but you know, if you're living a life that you don't want to live, you know, now is the time to change it. You know, before this year ends, make it a mission to change your life, and not for anybody else or society, but for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're unhappy, the only person you can either blame is the person who hurts you or yourself. And that's all I got to say about it. So, you know, you just got to be aware that, you know, you have your own power, right? You have your own power. You have your own ability to do what you got to do. And that's it. You know, that's the bottom line. You know, when you have power and you take responsibility, you're able to change. But if you don't take the responsibility and you don't take the first step to make your life better, then it's going to be your fault. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be your fault. So that's how I see it. You know, like we have the ability to change our reality, our world, to some degree, our relationships. And if we don't take responsibility, you know, it's going to be disastrous. And that's what scares me, is seeing people out here who are in that energy, you know, who I know are living like that because they were not able to put their foot down, you know, and they were not able to do what they were supposed to do because of fear, because of society, because of settling, because of a lot of things. And you know, we can't live like that. You know, none of us can afford to live a life of regret. So my message here is, do not live your life with regret. Okay. My message is very simple. Okay. Do not live a life full of regrets, because you will regret it. You know, naturally you will regret it. And, you know, do not live a life where you feel like, or you feel like, you know, you could have done things differently, but you didn't. That's a horrible feeling. So do your best, live your life authentically, but make sure that you're not wasting your time, because as 2020 just proved, you know, a whole year went by. We were all locked in our houses, right? Not able to go anywhere. But yet it's like, that just proves, like, look at how many people without quarantine have wasted their time, have wasted their life without the pandemic, like just living life haphazardly. Okay. So we have to stop, you know, we have to manifest what we want. So I'm wishing you all love and light. Hopefully you like this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, guys, bye.